Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright, and welcome back to Wizards News. This is going to be a fun one because we are finally going to be talking about centaurs. Yes, that topic I've been talking about for a while, as well as several other bits of research and some other pieces of news that have come out. We're going to have a good bit of fun today. Let's dive in. So, with the new items that have been coming out in the oddities, particularly the Escapee, the Death Eater, and the Three-Headed Dog, a lot of people have been wondering where are those found. We did an initial research that is getting a few things, and we have a few ideas, so we'll be showing that, as well as we're going to be talking about centaurs. Now, why centaurs? They've been out for a while. Well, one of the things is we really don't know when do centaurs actually come out. There's the automatic understanding that centaurs like to study the skies, therefore a clear night would be the best, but a lot of people are saying no, during the day, and other people are saying no, dawn and dusk are the best time, and other people are saying find them in the woods, and some people are saying find them by the water, and some people are saying find them in residential areas. So we've been doing a whole bunch of research on this, and I want to actually show you what that is. We have 768 responses so far on this, so let's take a look. First of all, let me come over here to the main list. Now, here you can see it is almost all centaurs. 96% of all the responses were centaurs, but there were a few escapees, Death Eaters, and Three-Headed Dogs, and we'll be looking at those individually here in a little bit to see if we can pull out any ideas of when those occur. Number 2, we come down here to the tonic. Now, all of these have been since the last Brilliant event, so the tonic draw on those is not huge, and so we're still including the tonics in here, but I wanted to separate them out so we could kind of think about it. But only 20 responses out of the 700 and some have actually been what the centaurs were. This is the interesting one. We come down here to time of day, and day was 44%, and night was 38%, and then dawn was 9, and dusk was 8.5. So those really fall into the standard deviation of how much of the day is one of those two time periods, or one of those 4 time periods. So dawn, dusk, day, and night, I don't think that I can see any clarification on here. And from my personal experience, I never find them at night. When I'm out looking around, I have yet to see a centaur at night, cloudy, clear, whatever the weather. And then there are other people who say they never see them in the day. And so that's making me think that there might be a location bias to, if you're in this location, you'll see them in the day, and if you're in this location, you'll see them in the night. But what is that? Then we come down here and we look at the weather in the app. By far, the biggest one is clear. Now, I know a lot of people out there search for them at night in clear conditions, so it's probably skewed a little bit clear. And so I kind of expect that one to be a little bit bigger than normal. And if you look at average weather, clear is like 30% of average weather. So theoretically, there is a higher number. 44% is higher than 33%, so clear is a better chance. But that may also just be because that's when people are out hunting for them. So I don't know. That it's nothing to say. You know, if it were obvious that it's only during clear weather, you would see a much larger section of the pie, like 60, 70, maybe 80% of the pie being clear. But with 44% and still almost a quarter seeing it in during overcast or partly cloudy, that's really not a clear response either. And then we had people tell us, what kind of location: residential, shopping, religious centers, forests, and they can enter their information in here. So let's actually jump over to the chart. So here is the data chart, and this is where we could actually go through and break them down by where do we find them. We see a lot in residential areas, we see a lot in rural areas, we see a lot in shopping centers, we see a lot in the university campus, urban areas, YMCA, and so yeah, here's one in snow during forest. Honestly, I have not found anything in this that says I'm going to find them more often here or there, which really, really confuses me, because where I'm at, I find them in one section of the woods, and there is a small section of the woods that I go through, and I will find them 10 an hour like clockwork every time I go in there, no matter what the weather, no matter what time of day. It's day, night, dusk, dawn, raining, snowing, clear. I'll find them there at 10 an hour almost exactly. But if I go into other sections of the forest, I don't find them there. If I go down by the river, I don't find them there. If I go to the shopping centers, I don't find them there. And I can only think of 2 instances in the entire time the game has been out I have found centaurs anywhere other than that small section of the forest. and I can't figure out why. And other people are telling me almost the exact opposite, that they're only finding them in clear areas, that they're only finding them in urban areas. So there is some metric here that I am just not finding with centaurs. So I'm saying this because I want to get a better idea from you, the audience. What should we be testing here? How can we narrow this down and figure out where do centaurs actually show up? Are there natural features? Are we looking for broad swaths of ecosystem? I don't see that, but who knows? I would love to hear your ideas. But before we go, let's actually come down here and let's look at some of the Death Eaters, the Escapees, and the Three-Headed Dogs. Now, one of the interesting things is we're seeing them all about the same amount. So apparently they have about the same occurrence. We're seeing day and night, and we're seeing day and night, and we're seeing day and night. Partly cloudy, clear, partly cloudy, clear, partly cloudy, clear, overcast, overcast, partly cloudy, clear. Cemeteries, churches, rural, home, residential, home, church, park. Yeah, so there's a little bit of everything in here, and yeah, who knows? So this is research that is kind of hitting a dead end, and this is one of the fun things about research, because you don't always get clear-cut, obvious things like this is where it is. So I want to find out from you guys, what should we be studying and how should we be doing this? If someone can give me a good idea of how to study it, I want to put out the information on that. Also, if you want to get into the study and help us out, on the Wizards News Hivemind, there is a link to it down in the description. If you don't know what the description is, down there's a button that you will actually open up the description. You can't see it until you click that button. You can only see the first top couple lines of the description. In there is a link to the Wizards News Hivemind group, and we are doing a bunch of studies and research on there. We're currently trying to figure out what the points of interest are, what makes an inn over a greenhouse over a fortress, and there's some study going on there, and this was one of the topics that we want to include on there. One of the interesting things that came up on there is several people are doing small studies themselves and actually getting some interesting data. One of the things we've been asking is, what are the chances of getting different runestones at different times, particularly if you max out a level and you maxed out the rank on it. And one of our number on the Hivemind group did this amazing study where he went in and did a crazy amount of research on this, with a ton of stones that he's actually been tracking, coming to find out it's around 50%. If you have maxed out your family, it's around 50% you're going to be getting a level 4 runestone, around 20% for a level 5, around another 20% for a level 3, and then 7 and 4%-ish that you're going to be seeing for 2s and 3s. So this is kind of cool. Once you've maxed it out, you can be pretty sure you're going to be getting a number 4, but that doesn't mean that you won't get a 2 or a 1. Just be ready for that. So this is another piece of information, and if you want to see this, head on over to the Hivemind group and check it out. On another piece of news, within 12 hours of the last video coming out, the pins have sold out. If you do want a pin, I am putting in another order for them. They are going to be on back order, and it will take about another month to get them. I'm able to order another 100 of them, and so hopefully that will be enough to last through the pre-orders. But if you want to have one, make sure you pre-order it now, because if we sell out of 100 pre-order, then it's going to be 2 months or more out until we can actually get those pins in. So yes, I'll maybe be able to get a bigger order in next time, but for right now, if you want it, you better jump on it now. I do have to say a huge thank you to everyone who is purchasing them. It's phenomenal and a great encouragement to me. Thank you. I'm just overwhelmed that many people are interested in them. And I do have to honestly say I'm in love with these and how they came out. This is far beyond any of my expectations. Goozy Pens does some amazing stuff. And if you haven't seen their other pens, definitely check it out, because they have some really cool stuff on the site. So that's about it for today. We kind of hit this dead end, and I'd love to hear your ideas. Come and join us on the research on the Hivemind group. We are having a good party over there, and I would love to see if anyone else has some ideas of how we can test one thing or another, to eliminate some of these ideas and figure out what's actually causing these centaurs to spawn in different locations. So thanks for joining as always. If you do want to help out the channel, click like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you click that all notifications when you ring the bell, because that really does help out the channel, and thank you for that. Do want to say a huge thank you to the patrons on Patreon. You are helping us make this better, and that is a huge thank you. I'm looking forward to the next hangout with you guys, which should be coming up in a few days. So if you haven't noticed that and you're a patron, go and look on the Patreon page, and you'll be getting a notification when we're doing the hangout. I think that's it for now. And until next time, have a magical day. It's time for the next Chocolate Frog, and this one comes from A Witch Alone, which you've got to check out her channel. She has been doing some really cool things over there, and she's been helping out with some of the research as well. Very active on the Hivemind group. Channel well worth watching, so I'll leave a link to her down below. But today, we got... Wow, something that won't come out. Ah, there we go. Helga Hufflepuff, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts.